Will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that. What the trade setup is looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, very good morning to all of you. All of you are looking fab today, but we have to talk about markets. Vamakshi is joining in now to tell us all the market cues we need to watch out for today. Good morning, Vamakshi.
Well, good morning, Sonal. Thank you so much for that. Markets continue to gain. We saw a very sharp sell-off in the last few trading sessions, but from Monday onwards, the market has seen a bit of a bounce. In fact, after a muted start yesterday, the markets made a smart recovery, ended near the day's highest point. Nifty was up nearly 0.5%, while Sensex was also up around the same levels. The broader markets also continue to outshine the benchmark indices. Nifty mid-cap saw a gain of almost 1%, while Nifty small-cap surged by nearly 0.8%. Largely, the sectoral indices also ended in the green, with the Nifty Bank and as well as the Nifty PSU Bank leading the charge. SBI, in fact, was one of the top gainers yesterday, was up nearly 5%. Nifty Auto, on the other hand, was the top loser. When we look at the US markets, Nasdaq managed to hit fresh record highs. S&P 500 also gained somewhere around 0.2%, but the Dow Jones underperformed, falling by almost 0.4%. As far as the cues for today are concerned, we will be keeping an eye out on the US GDP data as well as the US non-farm employment change. There will be lots of stocks reacting to their numbers today. Marico, Volta, Star Health, MTAR Tech, all of these counters reported their numbers post-market hours yesterday, so we will be watching out for those. But apart from that, lots of companies reporting their numbers today as well, and that includes L&T, Dabur, Biocon, Tata and Tata Power. As of now, when we look at the GIFT Nifty, it's indicating a negative start to the trading session today.
Yes, it is. Let's say which way things go, whether we see a recovery or not during the course of the day. Let's talk about all the other stocks that will be on our radar now. Sudarshan has that list. Good morning, Sudarshan.
Morning, Sonal. We'll start with those companies which have reported earnings, starting with Marico. Results were largely in line. Rural growth was 2 times of urban, and pricing growth has been trending higher. Domestic volume growth has come at a higher end of our poll, that is 5%. For Container Corporation, earnings were largely in line, but volumes remain a concern. H1 FY25 volume growth is much below the guidance that company has given for FY25. For Voltas, again, earnings were largely in line. EBITDA has come in at Rs 162 crore versus our poll of 166 crore, and unitary cooling products market share holds over 20%. For Q2 FY25, it was 21%. For Star Health, combined ratio, which is one of the main financial indicators, has risen to 103, which is normally not taken positively, and it's against our estimates of 99.3%. Even operating profit has made a sharp fall, that has fallen almost 79% year on year. For Hitachi Energy, earnings were better than estimates. Revenue is increased 25%. Margin has expanded by 53 bips. For Keynes Technologies, earnings were largely in line with estimates. Margin has increased 90 bips and revenue has risen 58%. Keep an eye on oil marketing companies. These companies have announced hike in commissions of dealers. Also, sources say these companies have reduced interstate freight rates in remote areas, and this might have an impact on prices. Especially in remote areas, prices may come down by 2 to 4 rupees, while in urban areas, we might see price increase. For Torrent Pharma, block deal for up to rupees 3,000 crore is likely today, and sources say promoter Torrent Investments is likely to sell up to 2.9% stake, and floor price for the same is rupees 3,023 per share, which is a discount of almost 6% to yesterday's closing price. So these are the stocks that might be in focus today.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that list, Sudarshan. Finally, let me go across to Manglam. He's joining in with all the cues from the F&O space this morning. Good morning, Manglam.
Good morning. Seems like the festive cheer is actually spilling out of the markets as well. The market for the last 2 trading sessions has been on a good footing, recovering from the lows. What's interesting is that it's the Nifty Bank and the mid-cap index which did extremely well yesterday, over 2% in terms of gains coming in for the Nifty Bank, and the mid-cap index too outperformed the Nifty by a factor of 2. The Nifty Bank, with its strong 1,000-point up move yesterday, crossed important technical levels, the 20, 50 and 100-day moving average, and closed above that as well. So that's a big positive. The other big positive is both yesterday's and day before yesterday's lows, from where we saw a big recovery, have been largely similar. That has now established a firm footing for the market at around 24,150 thereabouts. The third thing, the FII, they're selling in cash market, but their selling has abated drastically. Yesterday, the selling was just about 549 crores. The DII's purchase actually outbid the FII is selling. So that trend comes up for you on the screen, where the FII sold 3,337 crores in the previous trading session, then 3,228 crores, and yesterday that number was just around 549 crores. Add to that, they're also nibbling on the long side in index futures, where they've covered a lot of their short positions. So yesterday the purchase was close to around 294 crores. They covered around 11,000 short contracts and booked some profits on 8,000 long contracts as well. As a result of which, their net exposure again at 40%. Remember, just 5 days ago, this number was 33%. So they've increased their net long exposure. And now the key levels to track on the Nifty on the way up would be both the 100-day moving average and the 20-day moving average, for which we have to contend with the near-term resistance at the 24,500 mark, where we have seen a fair amount of call writing, and the 24,400 put, where there has been a fair amount of action as well. Two stocks that I'm watching out for, Dixon and Escort. As we had pointed out, there is possibility of them exiting F&O ban, and that's what happened.
All right, so we'll watch out for all those F&O cues as well. Thank you guys for joining us on this Power Prep segment.